Hello everyone. Today we will discuss peripheral neural system. PNS, peripheral neural system. So the peripheral neural system, they contain a neurons. So they are the associated with the brain and spinal cord. This peripheral neural system is associated with the brain and spinal cord. Cranial nerves. Cranial nerves. Second one are peripheral nerves. Cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Cranial nerves and spinal nerves. So the cranial nerves, it is arising from brain. It is arising from brain. So the cranial nerves arising from brain. So the spinal nerves, arising from, it is arising from spinal cord. So it is arising from spinal cord. So they are arising from the brain. So they are emerging from the cranium. So these neurons is called as cranial neurons or cranial nerves. So these neurons are arising from the spinal cord. So these neurons are called as spinal neurons or spinal nerves. So these cranial neurons number, so they are the 12 pairs. These are the 12 pairs, presenting in 12 pairs. So these are spinal neurons. The spinal neurons, they contain 31 pairs. The human being contain a cranial neurons. Cranial neurons are the 12 pairs. Cranial neurons 12 pairs. Spinal neurons 31 pairs. Spinal neurons 31 pairs. First one cranial neurons. 12 pairs. First one olfactory nerve. First one olfactory nerve. Second one optic nerve. Second one optic nerve, olfactory nerve, optic nerve. Next one, third one oculomotor nerve. Third one oculomotor nerve. Third one oculomotor nerve. Oculomotor nerve. Next one, fourth one, trochlear nerve. Next one, fifth one, a trigeminal nerve. Fifth one, trigeminal nerve. Next one, sixth one, abducens nerve. Sixth one, abducens nerve. Sixth one, abducens nerve. Next one, seventh one, facial nerve. Facial nerve. Next one, eighth one, vestibulocochlear nerve. vestibulocochlear nerve, vestibulocochlear nerve. Next one, ninth one, glossopharyngeal nerve. Ninth one, glossopharyngeal nerve. Glossopharyngeal nerve. Glossopharyngeal nerve. Next one, 10th one, vagus nerve. 10th one, vagus. 10th one, vagus nerve. 10th one, vagus nerve. Next one, 11th one. 11th one, spinal accessory nerve. Spinal accessory nerve. Spinal accessory nerve. Next one, 12th one, hypoglossal nerve. 12th one, hypoglossal nerve. Hypoglossal nerve. Hypoglossal nerve. So these are the 12 pairs of cranial nerves. 12 pairs of cranial nerves. So the olfactory nerve, optic nerve, oculomotor nerve, trochlear nerve, trigeminal nerve, abducens nerve, facial nerve, vestibulocochlear nerve, glossopharyngeal nerve. Next one, vagus nerve, spinal accessory nerve, hypoglossal nerve. So they are the 12 pairs of spinal nerves. 12 pairs of spinal nerves. Next one, so these 12 pairs of spinal nerves, so they are the functionally three types. Functionally three types: sensory neurons, motor neurons, mixed neurons. Sensory, motor, mixed. So the sensory neurons means, so these neurons, they are the impulse sending from the sensory organ to central nervous system. Sensory organ to brain. Sensory organs to central nervous system. Central nervous system means spinal cord and brain and spinal cord. So these sensory neurons impulse sending from the sensory organs to central nervous system. Second one, motor neurons. Motor neuron means, so these neurons impulse messages sending from the central nervous system to sensory organs. Central nervous system to sensory organs. So they are the central nervous system to sensory organs. Next one, third type, mixed neurons. Third type, mixed neurons. So the mixed neuron means, so they are the two function, the sensory function and motor function. Sensory function and motor function. So the first one, sensory neurons. The sensory neurons are olfactory nerve, so they are the sensory nerve. Optic nerve, so they are the sensory nerve. Next one, vestibulocochlear nerve. So these are the sensory nerve. 1 to 8. 1, 2 and 8. So these neurons are the sensory neurons. Sensory neurons. Next one, motor neurons. Next one, motor neuron. So these are the 3, 4, 6. 3, 4, 6 and 11, 12. 11, 12. 3, 4, 6, 11, 12. 3, 4, 6, 11, 12. Third one, fourth one, sixth one, 11th and 12th neurons. 11th and 12th neurons. So these are the motor neurons. So these are the motor neurons. Next one, remaining mixed neurons. Trigeminal nerve. So these are the mixed neuron. Next one, seventh one, facial nerve. So these are the mixed nerve. Remaining glossopharyngeal nerve. So these are the mixed nerve. Next one, vagus nerve. So these are also mixed nerve. So mixed nerves are the fifth one, fifth one, a mixed nerve. Next one, facial nerve is a mixed nerve. Next one, glossopharyngeal nerve is a mixed nerve. Next one, vagus nerve. So these are the mixed nerve. Fifth one and seventh one. Next one, ninth one and 10th one. So these are the mixed nerves. So these are the mixed nerves. So the cranial nerves are the 12 pairs. Cranial nerves are the 12 pairs. Functionally these are the 3 types. Functionally these are the 3 types. Sensory, motor, mixed. Sensory and motor and mixed. Sensory neurons. So they are the 1 to 8. 1 to 8. So these are the sensory neurons. Mixed neurons. 3, 4, 6, 11, 12. 3, 4, 6, 11, 12. Next one, mixed neurons. So they are the 5th one, 7th one, 9th one, 10th one. So they are the mixed neurons. So they totally cranial neurons. Totally cranial neurons. Next one, spinal neurons. Spinal nerves. Spinal neurons. So these spinal neurons arising from the spinal cord. Spinal neurons arising from the spinal cord. Totally these are the 31 pairs. The human being contain a 31 pairs of the spinal nerves. So they are the based on the location. Based on the location. So these are the 3 types. Based on the location. So these are the 3 types. It is arising from spinal cord. Spinal cord. Totally how many pairs? So they are the 31 pairs. 31 pairs. So these are the functionally, they are the based on the location classified into 5 types. Based on location. Based on location, it is classified into 5 types. Classified into 5 types. Classified into 5 types. Based on the location, they are classified into 5 types. First one, cervical nerves. Cervical nerves. Cervical nerves. Cervical nerves. Next one, second one, thoracic nerve. Second one, thoracic nerves. Third one, lumbar nerves. Third one, lumbar nerves. Third one, lumbar nerves. Lumbar nerves. Lumbar nerves. Next one, fourth one, sacral nerves. Fourth one, sacral nerves. Fourth one, sacral nerves. Next one, fifth one, coccygeal nerve. Fifth one, coccygeal nerve. Fifth one, coccygeal nerve. So they are the 5 types: cervical nerves, thoracic nerve, lumbar nerves, sacral nerves, and coccygeal nerves. First one, the cervical nerves. Cervical nerves. So they are total number. So they are presenting on total 8. Total 8. So they are presenting on the total 8. C8. Cervical 8. Next one, thoracic nerves. So totally thoracic nerves are the T12. Thoracic nerves are the 12 pairs. T12. Thoracic 12. Next one, lumbar nerves. Next one, lumbar nerves. So they are the lumbar nerves are the 5 pairs. L5. Next one, sacral nerves. So the sacral nerves are the 5 pairs. Sacral 5. Next one, coccygeal nerves are the 1 pairs. So they are the coccygeal 1. Only 1 pair. So they are the totally 31 pairs. 8 plus 12, 20. 20 plus 5, 25. 30, 31. Totally 31 pairs of the spinal nerves. 31 pairs of the spinal nerves presenting on the spinal cord. Next one, the certain spinal nerves. Certain spinal nerves, they fusion, they formation of plexus. Formation of plexus. The human being contain a 5 types of plexus. Certain spinal neurons. Certain spinal neurons combine to form certain spinal neurons combine to form networks. That networks is called as plexus. That neuron networks is called as plexus. Totally 5 types of plexus presenting in human beings. First one, cervical plexus. First one, cervical plexus. Cervical plexus. So this cervical plexus is formed by cervical 1 to cervical 4th neurons. These are formed by the cervical 1 to cervical 4. Cervical 1, cervical 2, cervical 3 and cervical 4. These 4 neurons combine to form the cervical plexus. Cervical plexus. Next one, second one, branchial plexus. Second one, branchial plexus. Branchial plexus. So this branchial plexus is formed by cervical 5th to cervical 8th and thoracic 1 neurons. So they combine to form the plexus. Next one, lumbar plexus. Third one, lumbar plexus. Third one, a lumbar plexus. So this lumbar plexus is formed by lumbar 1, lumbar 2, lumbar 3 and lumbar 4 neurons. Lumbar 4 neurons. So they are formation of lumbar 1, lumbar 2, lumbar 3 and lumbar 4 neurons. Next one, fourth one, sacral. Next one, fourth one, sacral. Sacral plexus. Sacral plexus. So these are formed by lumbar 4, lumbar 5 and sacral 1, sacral 2, sacral 3 neurons. Sacral 3 neurons. So the formation of lumbar 4, lumbar 5 and sacral 1, sacral 2 and sacral 3 neurons. These combine to form the sacral plexus. Next one, fifth one, coccygeal plexus. Coccygeal plexus. So these are formed by sacral 4, sacral 5 and coccygeal 1 neurons. So these are combined to form the coccygeal plexus. Coccygeal plexus. So they are the 5 types of the plexus: cervical plexus, branchial plexus, lumbar plexus, sacral plexus and coccygeal plexus. So the cervical plexus is formed by the cervical 1, cervical 2, cervical 3, cervical 4 neurons. These 4 neurons combine to form the cervical plexus. Cervical plexus. Next one, branchial plexus. So this branchial plexus L5, cervical 5, cervical 6, cervical 7, cervical 8 and thoracic 1. So, these combined from the branchial plexus. Next one, lumbar plexus. So, this lumbar plexus is formed by the lumbar 1, lumbar 2, lumbar 3 and lumbar 4. Lumbar 1, 2, 3 and 4. These 4 neurons combined from the lumbar plexus. Next one, fifth one, sacral plexus. Sacral plexus. So, they are formed by the lumbar 4, lumbar 5 and sacral 1, sacral 2, sacral 3 neurons. So, these combined from the sacral plexus. Next one, coccygeal plexus. So, this coccygeal plexus is formed by the sacral 4, sacral 5 and coccygeal 1. So, these neurons are combined from the coccygeal plexus. So, these are the peripheral neural system. Peripheral neural system flow chart, cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Cranial nerves are the 12 pairs, spinal nerves are the 31 pairs. So, they are the total human body neurons, cranial neurons and spinal neurons.